Good afternoon. Welcome to the Week 1 show of Warrenton's finest fantasy football league. I am your host. I am your commissioner. I am the GM of the Dallas Jeff Boys, the soon-to-be champion of the league, Jeff Darling, and I am so thrilled that you've taken the time out of your night to join us for this special show. We wanted to do a quick recap as it's Thursday. We've got Thursday Night Football coming up tonight. Make sure that you set your lineups. We've got the Chargers versus the Chiefs. So if those two team names sound familiar, check your lineup. If they don't, double check your lineup because you probably have no idea who's actually on your team. Just want to go through a couple things here. Recap Week 1, highlight the winners, put the spotlight on the losers. You don't want to be mentioned in our wall of shame. So, we really have no control of it. Just make sure you put people in your lineups and just pray that they actually do what they're projected to do. Starting off, as I restart my music to keep the energy level up, we had the Dallas Jeff Boys beating the Weasel 113.4 to 84.42. The Weasel just unfortunately just didn't have a great showing. A lot of underperforming members from his team originally projected to win this game, I believe, by a total of 7 points. I could be wrong on that. Big winner for Jeff was picking up Saquon Barkley, the underrated running back that years past has been a top 5 pick. This time slipped multiple rounds before I snagged him. That was great. I'm very happy. We'll see if he tears an ACL in this coming week. Next up, we had Team Queen against Team Touchdown, Uncle Touchdown, led by Sean Cook, who scored 117.6 points to Hannah's 70.5, which may have been the biggest point difference of the week. Unfortunately, the Queen got demoted. Also, RIP, long live the Queen. She died, so RIP to the Queen. We'll leave it at that. Hopefully, the Queen continues to underperform because I think I'm playing you, Hannah. So I hope a couple of your players still get 0 points like they did against Sean. Next up, we had Team Touchdown, who had a huge lead against Jason's pretty average team going into the first half of games. But unfortunately for Dan, Jason had Patrick Mahomes starting at that 4 o'clock game, who scored a total of 36 points, I believe, 35.9. So your pretty average team squeaked out a 115-109.7 victory. Next up, we had Gone Fishing, led by Matt Haynes, who picked a bunch of players just based on how pretty he thought their names were. And surprisingly, that strategy worked. He destroyed Brandon, who took his own team name of the bye week literally, and it looks like half his team was on a bye week because Matt won 125 to 87.5. Up next, we had Greg Tardif, the newcomer. Get off the car, Shepard. Sorry, my son's climbing on the car. I'm outside. Get off. You're gonna fall. The Squirrel Salad scored 117.48 points, led by Justin Jefferson of Minnesota and Kirk Cousins. Surprisingly, a team both in real life and in the fantasy world that had Kirk Cousins as the quarterback won. What a surprise. So they won 117.48 to 109.98 against our defending league champion, Mike Weiss. A very close game. We'll see what happens in this coming week. Next up, the final matchup of Week 1 was Michael Cup with World Cup against Carlos, the Texan Manny Machado. Just Cruising beat him 112.42 to 84.1. It's really nothing to brag about. We all know that Michael had some serious flaws in his drafting. He, I believe, took a total of 5 players that were either out or suspended or just aren't even in the NFL anymore. So I expect better homework from you. Although you did snag a bunch of people off the waiver wire that I had my eyes on, so I'm a little bitter about that, but that's okay. You need it more than I do. Looking ahead to Week 2, we have a couple exciting matchups. Brother against sister, the Dallas Jeff Boys going up against Team Queen, a projection of Jeff winning 104.6 to 102.7 for Hannah. We'll see if that holds true. Sean of Uncle Touchdown against Team Touchdown. And it looks like another close one. Projected Sean to win 111.5 to Dan's 107.1. Someone looking to bounce back. A typical top 2 finisher of the league. The Weasel is going up against your pretty average team. And it looks like right now it's a 1-point margin. The Weasel projected to win 111.5 to 110.2. Moving ahead to the next conference, we've got the Squirrel Salads going up against Gone Fishing, 2 undefeated teams looking to see who will remain undefeated. The Matt Haynes, his team is projected to win 111.9 to Greg's 110.2 for the Squirrel Salads. We'll see what happens here. Next up, we have two basement dwellers, the very bottom of the barrel, bye week against World Cup. This one's looking to be bye week winning 113.9 to 105.4. We'll see if the new waiver pickups from Michael can make any kind of impact, or if he's just destined for last place like the final standings are saying they're supposed to be. Not trying to be harsh, I'm just simply here letting you guys know what the stats are. The final matchup of week 2 is going to be the defending champs, Mike, looking to bounce back from that heartbreaking loss to the Squirrel Salads. He's facing up against Carlos in the Just Cruising, and scheduled or slated projected to win 111.2 to 109.8. Those are your week 2 matchups. A couple of storylines we're going to look at. Geno Smith, a lot better than anybody thought he would be. The Cowboys, just so terrible. Probably bench every single person on offense for them, which is half of my lineup. That was just a bad mistake. The Commanders offense looking a lot more potent than maybe some people thought. Prince Harry leading the helm in Washington. R.I.P. the Queen again. We'll give her another shout out. But yeah, Carson Wentz really looks like Prince Harry. So try to unsee that one. I'm trying to think if there's any other big storylines. The Chiefs continue to roll. Buffalo looks unstoppable. Big injury for the Rams on defense. I forget his name, but I think that's a pretty big loss. Anyway, or maybe there's a different team. Don't take your updates from me. Check your lineups, check your teams, enjoy football. Hopefully the week 2 update, you won't get the spotlight of shame on you, and let's just have a fun time. Remember, last place has to eat that spicy hot chip. Greg can tell you how terrible it was. I need to not lose because I will die. But anyway, hope you guys have a fantastic week. Peace. Oh, perfect timing with the music.